Hello. Hi, everybody. Uh, what's up is the question right now. I don't know about you. I've noticed, even in just, I would say, the last couple of hours, it seemed like everybody is getting very upset. Really wants to know uh, what's going on, man. What's up? Um, this is a fresh one, so I'm going to try it. Oh, well. So, maybe fix updating this way. That's really not much better at all. All right. Sorry about that. It's not like anybody's here. So, in the past, I don't know, couple of hours, everyone seems to be very upset about their boundaries and very loud about it. Um, uh, but it's this weird reason that you need to interact, you need to interfere on this. You're very upset, right? Um, but there's some sneakiness to it also. Uh, so uh, hold on, I'm writing this out for you so I don't have to keep referring. Okay, so currently the sun is in Gemini, which is the god of liars, tricksters, and thieves. And this is where some of the problems coming in. Because, not that you should be a liar, but you know those people who are just too honest? By golly, they mean well. And yet, they just keep talking. And it just keeps getting worse for you, and worse for you, and worse. Uh, all of a sudden, it feels like these people and everybody has something to give away, to uncover something sneaky, right? Or they're intending that you're doing something sneaky. And so I don't understand. Everybody's got these boundary issues. Um, so why has everybody got boundary issues? Well, the moon is in Libra, and Libra is the sign of relationships. And it's a different thing than the. So if Aries is Adam and Taurus is Eve, Gemini is the first child, right? The first thing to experience curiosity. And of course, they kill somebody, right? Cain and Abel. Of course, they kill somebody. Yeah, that's kind of weird. They didn't know. There had been no such thing before this moment, right? There's this innocence to asking these questions. But reproduction doesn't indicate a relationship, right? Unless you get deeper and we'll get into that. But Libra is the sign of interactions and balance, and it rules the lower back and butt. And when the moon is in Libra, so the moon is emotions, right? The rising tide, right? When the moon is in Libra, there is an uncovering, a charm, right? Because Libra is very sensual. Libra is ruled actually by Venus. It's boy Venus, okay? So to kind of keep up with the Christian metaphor, Libra is Lucifer, is the morning star. And that's when you see Venus in the sky. And that's why Libra and Taurus are both ruled by Venus. So you have, so far, Mercury and Venus. So what do you have to say about the way you're being loved, about your space? If we're sticking with the Lucifer metaphor, Lucifer had a lot to say, right? It was time to go. He was no longer going to serve in heaven, right? So then you have Mercury in Taurus. So airing of dirty laundry. At some point, it has to get washed. And that's really upsetting for a lot of people. So how do you deal? What if you don't? That's an interesting. See, because Mercury can be more fluttery, but when it's in Taurus, it's very deliberate. Okay. Eve knew full well, right? That she was, fuck it, you know what? Maybe she didn't. Maybe that's part of the answer. Why am I blaming Eve and not Cain? Right? That's messed up. So it is Taurus. So what is Eve? Eve is sensuality. Eve is the first female, right? Eve is fertility, right? All things that we associate with Venus and Taurus. And here's the fertility is interesting too, because it's not, we're not saying that the thing is fruiting, we're saying that the thing is flowering, right? And so a lot of right now, we don't have all of the puzzle pieces that we need to be able to make the right decisions. However, we know that, and we're starting to investigate these decisions. And why did you hide this from me? Why can't I know about this? And, well, what are your priorities? Do you have the same priorities? Is there going to be a worthwhile relationship to come from this? Venus in Cancer. Ooh. Cancer is very possessive, but it's also about being in the home. And you know those people that are very, very excited to show off like their very clean house. Like the kind of people that clean for the cleaning people. right? So what is yours? What do you love? What is the love that you can receive? What belongs to you is what we're exploring while Venus is in Cancer. I'm crabbing. So we take all of these things from the sun, the moon, and Mercury. So 2 of these planets are ruled by Venus. 2 of these signs are ruled by Venus. And Venus is in the sign that rules the moon, right? So they're in harmony, right? This is good. This is tricky. Nana. You have to learn how to enjoy the thing that doesn't come from a product of your doing. You can argue that you're making all the decisions, but really what? I mean, how much of you is just bacteria, and how much of, like, you know, what actually exists of you? What chemicals are making the decisions for you? Are you going to eat anything but those Frosted Flakes in the morning? You know, so how do you appreciate that? Right? How do you get close to nature if the nature is the nature of you? Right? That's scary. What? But it isn't. It isn't. It isn't. Right? Being in the ocean. You didn't make it. You didn't earn it. You're just there. Can the ocean kill you? Certainly. Most things can. But you can appreciate the vastness, right? The sky. Hello. Here we are. This is about what matters and what's yours. And what's yours, a lot of people right now are starting to fight for it, and fighting grace. Mars is the planet of war and passion, and Aquarius is other. Aquarius sees all people the same, right? For good and for bad. When stripped down to these very simple cores, everyone is that thing. It's very easy for Aquarius to kind of separate like Photoshop layers and layer mask, right? Like that's how they interpret people and the world around them. And from the Aquarius eye in Mars, maybe we don't need to be screaming about it. There's not, where it's coming in so possessive and harsh and about your boundaries, what you're putting out in that passion is not, there's not a judgment that comes with it. It wants to be factual. It wants to stick to what it's supposed to. The facts, right? If this and this were this, then this should be true, right? But we don't have all of the facts. So part of Mars in Aquarius is going to be putting the puzzle pieces together. And there's a joy from that. But also, everybody is asking these questions, and they're not asking the right questions, right? How come everybody's got something to say about me and they don't come to me about it? Well, then how do you know? How about instead of talking about everybody talking about you, because nobody cares, right? Nobody cares. Why not address the things? Well, maybe it's not time yet. Ha 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 ha. Here we go. Jupiter and Scorpio. Jupiter is the planet of expansion and higher learning and creativity and bestowing of gifts, right? And Scorpio is the sign of sex, death, birth, and rebirth. And we are covering all of those things, right? But so how does that manifest? So it's a lot like the Sonic the Hedgehog game where you've already beaten the level, but you go back in and you collect all the rings. You know where they are, like you're just following the path. You've done all the things before, and that's why it's so important, and that's why it matters. Even if nobody cares, everything matters. Weird how that works. So, here's the thing. It's retrograde in Scorpio. So this is what I mean by you're going back. There's a lot of players from or actors from or characters from previous seasons that haven't been around in the last couple of episodes that all of a sudden are back. And what does that mean? And what do they have the answers to? What do you want the answers to be? What makes it better? What soothes your ego? Because we're talking about ego here, ultimately. But you need to serve it. Like it's part of our function here. That's why we were granted this, right? So the other thing about Jupiter and Scorpio is you get very lucky making those deals with the devil. This is that time. That's what people are doing. That's what the devil is doing. This is peak season for him. Okay? We're not going with the metaphor anymore. If you could give everything you had to give away, what do you really want? What's worth it to you? Because so far, the last couple of deals you've played, they haven't been worth it. So what is it, again, that you really want? What are you pushing away? What are you making room for? It's very clear. It's whatever your specific needs are, they're there. They're easy to find. But you don't want to yet. You want to keep making deals with the devil because that's what's working. And right now you need to be working. There's your Saturn in Cap. Saturn rules Capricorn. It is also in retrograde. Where Saturn in Sagittarius was all about art is work and emotional labor is labor. That also means that Saturn in Capricorn means everything is work all the time, and there's no reward. It's just work. Move along, keep it up, don't hold up the line, go on, do what you're supposed to be doing. retrograde. There's a lot to heed your progress. You have to have all of the information first, and you are not capable of getting all of the information right now, no matter how many questions you ask. Now, the fact that Venus and Saturn are opposing each other. Now, I hate the idea that it's always a negative when planets oppose each other. But I do want to address this, is Venus is like the chick in Three Penny Opera. I hate Brecht, doesn't matter. Venus is kind of a Greek chorus. It's always there, it's always observing, it's always enhancing the, this is how you feel, this is what you're gonna feel. Saturn in Capricorn doesn't like to be feeling, but Capricorn is a sensitive little punk. Sorry, guys. It's not a bad thing. Totally. All the time. Go to the beach. This is a time to let the tide come to you. It's gonna. Wait on it, right? I know you're depressed. We're all gonna die tomorrow. Don't you want to see how it really ends? As much fun, and I'm sure it would be fun for whatever way you plan to go. It's gonna happen anyway. So I mentioned the opposition. Mercury and Uranus. So Uranus is in Taurus. Uranus is the planet of sudden change and surprise. Taurus is the sign of house and home and fertility and love. So all of these unexpected surprises are going to come from the questions that you asked that you did not want the answers to. A lot of times, the questions you're going to ask are going to lead to answers that you definitely didn't want. You need them, but those are not the questions that you asked. Whose lipstick is this? Is not the same thing as, is my husband cheating? You will be getting the answer to one of them if you get the wrong answer to the first question. Uranus and Taurus. With it conjunct Mercury and Taurus, rather. Trining. So Neptune and Pisces. Neptune rules Pisces. So you know how I just said that Capricorn is a sensitive little punk? Neptune and Pisces. Capricorn is sensitive like Earth. Pisces is sensitive like water. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm saying they're different. If you pull a leaf off of a tree, that tree will probably feel it. We've seen the studies. But that's the end. That's as far as it goes in the ocean. Something can float along for decades, hundreds of years, and only be turned up now, right? So what's in the depths? What you want is down there, especially when Neptune is trine Jupiter. Then we have Pluto conjunct with Saturn in Capricorn. Pluto in Capricorn is exacting. It is being paid for what you're worth. It is getting what you deserve in every way that is possible. That can also indicate a retirement. It can indicate a moving forward in an entirely different career. What do you want? You'll get it. Now, from where I'm sitting, and that is always bound to change. Pay attention. From where I'm sitting, the ascendant is in Leo. So we're looking from a place of performance. We're looking at a place where we can show ourselves without being judged in the extremities of what we need to feel and have a cathartic release and then be able to walk away. And we all know that's not going to happen. This is not going to blow over. First 5 planets, that would be nice if it did. This is lasting. Yeah, I'm gonna go find some water and look at it for a while, maybe touch it. I think that you should find a thing that energizes you and not in a way that you could ever give it back. That's my advice. If you would like a more specific reading with your transits, you can always message me and we can talk about pricing on that, because it's different than a natal chart, because I'm doing a natal chart and today's and transit. So the prices vary on that. Depending on how many days you want to do, right? Okay. So you can do that. As you know, tarot, I have a new special. If you send $5, which is enough for the card and the post, I will send you a postcard from the place that I'm currently at, and it will have a designed tarot card on it just for you. And so you will have a 1-card reading that way that you can physically hold on to and remember. Tarot, as always, is $45 for a 10 card, $25 for a 3 card. Tarot handwriting analysis. If you want me to do a signature, it's $25. Anything beyond that, there's a sliding scale. Hit me up. We'll talk to you soon.